Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday, and Friday means Rocket League for the name is an odd fellow. Joining me in the booth tonight is Chef Billy. How you doing tonight, man? Haven't cast with you yet.
No, good to finally get a chance to cast with you. Doing pretty well. A little bit rainy here in the nation's interior, but we got some hot action going on today. First out of the gate, we're going to have, as I take a look at my screen here, Thomas Esports Black come in on 2-0 in the season. Those are a little bit misleading here coming in on that record. And Universe could have been 3-0. Week 1, 5-game thriller that they lost 3-2 in game.
Sorry about that, folks. Had a little bit of technical difficulties on our end. But once again, week 4, NECC. Billy, you were talking about the teams that we're playing tonight, which are going to be Thomas Black and Buffalo.
Yes, Thomas Black and Buffalo both coming in with 2 wins. Now, Thomas coming in with a little bit of a skewed record. They've got a forfeit win and then a non-reported versus Dalhousie. So we'll see if, their 1 win, which is a 3-0 victory, should be good enough to take them up against Buffalo now. So we'll see what they're able to bring out here. And like I was saying, their week 1 result was a map 5 banger here up against WPI Goats. It went 5 maps. They won the first 2 games of the series, and then they kind of got smacked around in games 3 and 4. And then game number 5 was actually a thriller going down to overtime. And we saw the golden goal being scored by WPI Goats. So, a bit of a heartbreak there in week number 1. They come back with 2 straight 3-0 victories over Champlain and SNHU Penman. So this looks to be, on paper, a very close matchup. Just need to see what Thomas have coming out the gate, Oddfellow.
Absolutely, and considering the fact that Thomas have effectively only really played like a game, maybe 2 if we count the Dalhousie Gold, because there's no report on that. Not quite sure how that ended up going. But with week 1 being a forfeit, no report week 2, and then a 3-0 week 3, there's really only one kind of actual good week of Rocket League for Thomas Black, and it's going to be interesting to see if a week 1 heartbreak from Buffalo, which then turned into 2 consecutive 3-0 sweeps, is going to give them just more momentum than Thomas Black can handle. But this is Friday. Anything can happen on Fridays. We're still very early in the season. Everybody's still kind of trying to figure things out. I do think this is going to be a very, very close game, but I do think Thomas Black is going to have a mountain to climb.
I mean, as we take a look at the rosters here for both squads, I mean, confidence is going to be running high for Buffalo. Like you said, turning that heartbreak from week number one into 2 straight sweeps is the best way to rebound. So, rosters here for the 2 teams. We'll see Thomas up here first. As we're waiting for that to come up here, we'll just, kind of talk about what we want to see coming up from these 2 teams. I mean, right now, it's been a midfield game right now across, especially the Challengers division here. We've been looking at, the midfield play, resource management or denial, if you want to look at it that way, has been a hallmark of this division across the areas that they cover. And so we'll see, is this going to be still a 3-man press up on that midfield line with one person being, ultra aggressive and having that 3rd man being ready for the defensive rotation into the back? Or are we going to see more of a staggered 1-1-1 formation that I've also seen a couple of times in a couple of different competitions in this same tier? So, we will see how these 2 teams come out here. Resource management, like I said, I think is going to be the first thing that has to be established. Tempo will be second. We've seen a lot of high octane going on. And then physicality. Are you willing to commit to challenges and really, fight for your right to take the win?
Exactly, and for anybody who's seen me cast specifically on NECC before, you know that midfield is my favorite word to use because that is where games are won and lost. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think it's really interesting what you're talking about with the formations and stuff, because I think the 1-1-1 is going to be the most effective formation just for any team in general, just because you're constantly having there's one person right where they need to be at any one time. But your communication has got to be perfect, because if somebody rotates out or somebody gets bumped out or there's just a miscommunication in the rotation anywhere, all of a sudden you can be a man down and find yourself on the bad end of a fast break goal before you can even blink and realize what's going on. And then on the flip side of that, having all 3 players pushed up into the offensive box can be good for putting offensive pressure on, but you leave yourself wide open. So you have to make sure at least one of your players is really, really fast with the get back to go back on defense, or you just are throwing on so much offensive pressure that you're just not worried about the defense, and you're just gonna be like, hey, this will be a high scoring game, and whoever gets to 10 wins first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, both styles really work here, especially in NECC. You can run the 1-1-1. You can also run a 2-1, where you've got 2 people forward, one person holding on the midfield line, maybe a little bit back just for that defensive rotation. So, I mean, it all depends on what they feel most comfortable with, how good their comms are in game, and what their scrim blocks have been like, what they're working on specifically. So, set plays, I think also needs to be something that's been, kind of lacking here in this division. You're not looking at, the same clean that you see in the Legends division. They're working their way up towards that, but I think that they still need a little bit of work on, the give and goes, the 1-2 touches, on the midfield line, coming defensively out of their defensive third. We'll see how they're able to work on that, and that'll be, I think, the hallmark of this game is one who can establish that midfield presence, really dominate the 2 mega boosts there to each side, and then aerial defense. When you're trying to carry out of the back, making sure that you're up nice and early to be able to meet any kind of an aerial challenge coming through.
The other thing with that is 3 very easy words, and those 3 words are clear to pass. Like, that is going to be the biggest thing for all these teams, and it factors in with that midfield control, because if you can transition properly from defense onto offense and get those good clears, then you'll be able to really start getting that going early. But it does sound like we do have our rosters ready to go, and I believe we're going to be starting off, as you said, with Thomas Black. We're going to be seeing Genetics, Strudel, and Mavie making up the 3-man roster here for Thomas Black Esports.
Yeah, a couple of freshmen coming in here with a junior, kind of giving that senior leadership here coming through. So we'll see how Thomas decide to work this game out here. And you know what? We've got 2 very business-like people here coming through. So I think they're going to be all business on the pitch, with sports management major Mavie bringing up the passion on the back end of that. So we'll see how they look at that. Now, as we take a look at Buffalo's roster coming up here, you know what? Big difference here. We've got a senior and 2 juniors here. Monomer, Dr. Beefcake, and Censored are going to be here. And the analytical minds will be ruling here, Oddfellow.
And I am so excited that Censored is playing, because on our caster information sheet, we have some little fun facts about some players. The fun fact about Censored is that they are a keyboard player, not a keyboard and mouse player, strictly keyboard. They only use the keyboard to play the game, and I think that's incredible, and I cannot wait to see what that looks like on the game today. That's going to be awesome to watch.
I mean, I play Rocket League on Xbox. I've tried to play it on mouse and keyboard. That's very difficult. I cannot imagine what it's going to be like just keyboard. I wonder what their jump button is. I'm going to assume it's the space bar, but I mean, boost and then WASD and then the arrow buttons as well. I mean,
there's a lot.
There's a lot. So we'll see what actually goes on as we head into game number 1. Game is underway. A nice little kickoff win there from Genetics, but nice little 50 there along the wall, Oddfellow, as we're looking at this initial touch here. Thomas, nice little ball in. We will see what Monomer and the company are able to do as they cross themselves out here and try to get through the defensive hold.
And just to keep everybody organized at home, we are going to have Thomas Esports in the blue, Buffalo in the yellow, as Dr. Beefcake gets a nice 50 there to keep it in offensive pressure here for Buffalo.
No way.
Genetics trying to get out, but no, it's not going to happen. It's Dr. Beefcake getting the first goal of the game here for Buffalo.
Oh, my word. I mean, look at that angle. It's like a cut shot with a knife. That's a razor blade's edge. And I mean, we saw Monomer going to be able to come in there and try to clean up the rear end of that. But yeah, Buffalo out early. 29 seconds off the clock. First goal on the board.
And honestly, that just looked like a just brief defensive breakdown from Thomas. Nothing for them to get all up in their heads about. There's still plenty of time left in the game here. That's a goal they just kind of have to move on from and just start getting their own offense going. And Strudel tried to get it going, but here comes Genetics now into the corner. Does get cleared away by the defense from Buffalo, but it's going to be a fantastic 50. Strudel towards the backboard, maybe looking for the pass at the box, but that is going to be no points. And beautiful defensive stand here from Buffalo during that little 45-second push from Thomas. Beefcake off the ceiling, maybe is going to save that one away into the corner and get it over the top of Censored to boot, but there's going to be Monomer, but that's going to be good defense coming out of Genetics. So University of Buffalo still trying to add on to their lead, but the defense from Thomas Esports is holding strong here.
I mean, this has been, a nice little answer there. And I mean, just the little pinch there almost went goal bound just off the high backboard there. And you know what? 50 challenges are going to be very important in this game, and I can already tell this. We've seen 3 different aerial challenges. 2 of them are actually won by Thomas Esports. So right now, they've got a little good control of the skies and also starting to manage those midfield boosts.
Exactly, and so like I was kind of talking about, that first goal from Buffalo is a combination of just weird defensive positioning in the first 15 seconds from Thomas and just a phenomenal angle from Beefcake, and I doubt he can replicate again if he tried. As Censored passes it out. What a pass, but what a save from Mavy, seeing that one the entire way and keeping that from being the second goal of the game for Buffalo. So once again, this defense from Thomas Esports standing tall and strong here as Dr. Beefcake now going to try and clear this one away. Mavy does get the pass off the ceiling, but Beefcake is going to be there. Nobody's going to be able to get back for it. I see what Mavy was trying to do there, but I don't think he got the touch he was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really basically set up, and it was still a clinical finish there. I mean, that's not an easy shot with the ball on the rise, and getting it under the crossbar there. Oh. That's beautiful, but look, off the kickoff, Mavy getting the pass from his teammate there and just takes it home.
And you gotta love this, Mavy going, hey guys, my bad on that last little back pass to our opponents. I'll just go ahead and score the first goal of the game for us off the next kickoff. So Mavy keeping Thomas Esports black right in this one. Just over half the game left to play here, and Thomas Esports is on the attack once again.
Yep, I mean, they're starting to really garner a lot of possession here in their offensive third. The midfield war is starting to be won by them. That's a nice touch there from Mavy going up high. Or was that Genetics? I think that was Genetics and Mavy on the back rotation here. Looking for something, but they're going to get themselves back. So, you know what? Picking up the mega boost there in the corner. Going forward, Oddfellow. I mean, this has been a nice response here from Thomas Esports.
Absolutely, and this is exactly what I was kind of hoping to see out of them after giving up that first goal, just because it's just one of those goals that you just really can't account for. But Censored with the pass to Dr. Beefcake, saw that one coming the entire way. Beautiful 1-2 play here from Buffalo to take the lead up to 2.
I mean, that is, well, beautifully done there by Buffalo. And you know what? Thomas Esports, they're not out and out of it yet. So I want to see them really start to push the physical game here. They're kind of allowing these lanes to come through from them. Oh, my word, what a carry and a finish from Censored.
Oh my goodness! And now, as I'm sitting here talking about this great defense from Thomas, Buffalo is just pouring it on and pouring it on. As all of a sudden, that 1-goal game has now jumped to a 3-goal game in favor of Buffalo. There is still plenty of time here for Thomas Esports Black to make something happen in this game 1. But again, this is just game 1 of a 5-game series, so lots of Rocket League still left to be played here between these two teams. But this offense for Buffalo seems to have found the hole in the defense for Thomas.
I mean, there's a nice little touch there off the background. The Karam comes out, but nobody was able to trail on that. So Strudel picks up the ball at the midfield. Nice little 50. Carried up at the top, looking for a little bit of a switch of field. Looking for some space. Mortimer looking for goal, does not find it. The touch there. That was an important touch there coming in from Genetics and Strudel and company. Really dodged a bullet there.
Exactly. Being down by 3 is never something that you want to be, but being down by 4 is even worse, as Mavy gets that one over the top of Dr. BK, but Mortimer is there, censored. Going to be waiting for this one midfield. Genetics not going to be able to get that 50. Here comes Strudel over the top of Beefcake. Mavy trying to chase this one into the corner. Opts to go for the boost. Leaves it for the Buffalo defender. That's going to be a redirect, and that just barely rings off to the right. What a shot there from Buffalo.
I mean, they're going for resource management rather than possession of the ball, and I think that they've just got their priorities a little bit backwards right now. We need to see them getting a little bit more physical, especially when we're closing in on 30 seconds here. They need a takeaway goal here to give themselves a little bit of momentum going into game number 2, because this first game is all but done.
Maybe looked like they were trying to get a pass there towards the right-hand side, but Beefcake was there immediately. Mortimer getting it past 1. Does get the flick over the top of Genetics, but maybe is going to be there to clear away off the crossboard. Dr. Beefcake being a nuisance in the corner once again, but Strudel just trying to get some last-second points here for Thomas Esports Black. They are going to lose this first game here, but if they can get some points here in the waning seconds, it might give them some momentum going into game 2, but that is going to be a save away by Dr. Beefcake. University of Buffalo takes game 1 4-1.
Yep, I mean, we're looking at a Buffalo squad that, they should be 3-0, but they are not. They came in now 2-1, and now they're showing what they've done so far in this season after week number 1, and that is dominate offensively. Their rotations have been very clean. Despite the fact that they're kind of getting diffed out on the midfield boost, they're getting enough real resources for them to keep their offensive pressure up. The counterattack really has been impressive from them. They've absorbed the pressure coming in from Thomas. They've kind of played to what I thought that Thomas was going to do here, where they try to maintain that midfield line. They're kind of playing in a staggered 2-1 off the line, and we're seeing that 1-1-1 approach coming out from Buffalo, and you see the cross pass getting in behind the defender and just smooth sailing from there.
It's like I said, the 1-1-1 is the best way to do it if your rotations and communication are good enough to make up for it, which Buffalo has been nearly textbook on everything so far in this game. There were some little bit of shakeups there about in the middle of the game where just Thomas Black's defense was, I think, a little bit better than Buffalo was anticipating, but they quickly adjusted. You started seeing the midfield passes coming out immediately. As soon as they saw how tight that defense was, they went, okay, we have to spread the ball around a little more and attack from different angles, and it worked for them amazingly. Now it's going to be on Thomas Black to see if they can respond to that and adjust their defense according to the offensive adjustments that Buffalo made.
Yep, I mean, we'll see if that's actually going to be the case here for them, or if they're, going to have, even more issues going in and up against it. So for Buffalo right now, stay the course. Physicality hasn't really been here in this game. We haven't seen any demos as of yet. The bumps were minimal. The 50 challenges in the air were actually really impactful for both squads. So I think, we're kind of weighing the scales there in the aerial department. But I mean, I want to see a little bit more physicality. I want to see maybe Thomas try to up the tempo a little bit, try to break down that back line of Thomas, because they're really absorbing a lot of the pressure. And the looks that they did have, other than the kickoff goal, were very easily turned away from the goal.
And I think the biggest thing for Thomas Black here is going to kind of be those clears to pass, because the issue that they ran into was, yes, their defense was solid, but they weren't doing anything with it. It's like they were getting soft clears away. They were just kind of pushing it back out to the corner, and the way that Buffalo was rotating was not working so well in their favor, as we are going to jump right here into game 2. 15 seconds gone so far, and that's going to be Buffalo already starting to put the offensive pressure on.
I mean, you love to see it. I mean, that's exactly the response that they wanted to come out here sending a statement to Thomas. But I mean, looking at what we're seeing here, a couple whiffs, a couple little early game gremlins here for Buffalo coming out. Now, Thomas, what I want to see them do right now, possession. I also want to see intention behind their touches. I don't want it just to be these mindless touches, as you were talking about, pushing it just to a corner just to get a soft clear. I want to see some intention behind what they're doing with the ball.
And I'm a little bit worried about what I'm seeing out of Thomas Black here in the first 60 seconds or so because, what a great pitch there from Maybe as he was trying to pass that center. Because it almost looks like they saw that just crushing offense that Buffalo put on them, and now they're starting to play a little too passive defensively. Like they're giving Buffalo too much time to do things. Maybe making a fantastic challenge there in the midfield, and that is what they need to keep doing. They have to keep the challenges and the pressure on as the demo comes in. Genetics is going to get the first score of the game for Thomas Black.
Love it. Love it. I mean, it was the contact there, the 50 at the midfield, and then the follow-up on the back of it with the demo as well. So, you know what? I asked for more physicality. Already got it here going game number 2. 1-0 at Thomas Esports.
Thomas Esports Black has got to keep that kind of physicality going because if they're running into the kind of offense that Buffalo is throwing at them, one of the best ways to shut that down is to just remove one of the offensive shooters from the equation. Now, they do have to be careful about how and when they do that so that they're not giving up defense, but the way that they're doing things right now I think is going to work somewhat well for them. However, Buffalo was starting to make it a little bit interesting, but here comes Thomas Esports Black on the offensive once again.
They're taking to the skies, and they're winning the aerial war right now, Oddfellow. That's the big thing that I'm seeing right here, right now, is the change up here. The willingness to go into these 50s. Nice little carry there from Navy. Has to force a save coming out from Buffalo, and we're not done yet here in the offensive third.
Now, and that's going to be censored now, trying to drive this one towards the left wing wall. Maybe with a nice little challenge there to keep that from being some easy points. Dr. Beefcake trying to get a pass back to, I believe that was Monomer. Genetics trying to put it off his own backboard. That's going to be a goal for Monomer, and that is going to be a tie game now between these two teams.
What a bloody angle there coming from Monomer, and I mean, just the knife shot, just a little kiss into it. That's delicious. That's delicious going in there, now tied up. As we approach the halfway mark here in game number 2, we're getting the game that I thought we were going to get here, which is back and forth action, smart rotations. Oh, Strudel shoves it home, posterizes everybody.
This is a fantastic effort by Strudel, but even better pass from Mavy, just keeping fantastic offensive pressure on the ball, getting a beautiful 50, putting it right up in front of the net for his teammate to get up and just get the dunk over the top of everybody. So great team play there from Thomas Esports Black. Strudel to the wall, trying for the double tap, but not going to get it as censored. Driving this one towards Thomas Esports box now. Monomer not quite able to connect with that one. Beefcake is going to try to send this into the corner, but maybe going to send it away. Strudel up towards the backboard, looking for the double again. Is he going to get it? No, but Genetics is there again towards the backboard. Maybe going to be back just a little bit here. Does get it over the top. What a shot there from Maybe.
What a sequence there. I mean, that came from the long touch out of Strudel. Genetics has a go at it, makes them force a save, gets the jump out of them, gets the resources out of them, and then Maybe with the beautiful snipe shot from about midfield, and now it's a 3-1 lead.
And that was a textbook offensive push from Thomas Esports. That Buffalo shot is going to ring off the woodwork, though. Dr. Beefcake trying to keep the pressure going, but that is not going to result in points. University of Buffalo trying to get some points on the board here, finding themselves down by 2 after winning game 1 by 3. And Dr. Beefcake shot once again going to ring wide off to the right. The accuracy from Buffalo not nearly as good here in game 2 as it was in game 1.
I was talking about intention behind their touches. Well, I think that we definitely got that here from Thomas Esports in game number 2. Definitely a turnaround from game number 1. They got a pretty good mental here. Despite what happened to them in game number 1, they have come out here in a completely different mindset. They're going into these challenges. Aerial, ground, doesn't matter. They're going into it full tilt, and they're committing.
This is what really shows how strong of a team you are, is how you can make these adjustments. Like Thomas Esports Black has completely turned around the style of game that they were playing and are looking like a completely different team here in game 2. They're really starting to capitalize on these clears to pass. Monomer, though, trying to drop that one down in front. Strudel does get the whiff on that. That's going to be kept in pressure by censored. Monomer does get it over the top of Genetics. Trying to fake out Maybe, but Maybe getting a beautiful touch. Dr. Beefcake was able to get it over the top off the lead block from Monomer. What a team play there from University of Buffalo.
I mean, Maybe goes in there to that challenge. I mean, it's a great little touch there, but it leaves everybody else kind of with their pants down on the line. No pre-jump available there for Genetics on the line. So it's a 1-goal lead here, 50 seconds left on the clock. And now we're seeing Buffalo start to turn and ratchet up the pressure here. I'm looking for what kind of a touch is going to come out here. Next 30 seconds should decide whether we're going to golden goal or not.
And I'm really liking the challenges that Mavie is throwing at University of Buffalo. They're not giving them any chance to get anything going in the air whatsoever. They're challenging often. They're challenging early. Not always getting the touch on the ball, but sometimes all you need to do is just bump off the guy that's trying to follow the ball, because then the ball is just going to fall harmlessly onto your side and you're going to get possession of it anyways. As Monomer gets a nice pinch, but Strudel is able to push it right back into the Buffalo side of the pitch. Mavie at the midfield does get a touch on, trying to follow it, keep up with it, has a little bit of boost, looking for the reset, but Monomer is going to take it off the top before Mavie gets a chance to do anything. So now Buffalo, last second offensive push here. This is going to head into the corner. Dr. Beefcake waiting for it. Strudel just going to let that one fall to the ground. Beefcake waited too long to make the challenge. Thomas Esports Black tie up the series 1 apiece.
I mean, this is fantastic coming out from Thomas. That's a great response there to losing game 1 by 3 goals. They do give up a consolation goal there to Buffalo. Nice little setup on the end, but still, you take that all day long compared to what we saw in game number 1. They looked a little anemic in game number 1, and now they've upped the tempo. They've upped the physicality. The aerial war is definitely being won by this Thomas Esports Black squad, and now we need to see how are they going to transfer this into game number 3, because we saw some a little bit of adaptation coming through from Buffalo. They started being able to sniff out what Thomas was doing, but then Thomas was able to kind of switch it up a little bit more. They went more ground threat and more of the quick touch and go. Also switching the field. Something very smart that I saw from Thomas going is they were switching the field, going against the run of play. And really, I mean, the committal into the 50s, that's really the difference of this game right now, is how we've seen Thomas go into these 50s in game number 2. They did it, pretty successfully in game number 1, but didn't have the intention behind what they were going to do after they won the challenge. Now here in game number 2, we're seeing the finished product.
Exactly, and as we start going here now into game 3, I think the thing that Buffalo has to do is be more physical. We have got to start seeing the bumps, the demos. We've got to start seeing them coming out as Dr. Beefcake opting to swap into the Buffalo Bills decal, and we get a demo right off the bat. Oh boy, Buffalo might be starting to make something happen here.
I mean, they're just going to go with brute force. I mean, that's a nice goal line stop right there. Still the intention behind the ball. Yeah, Strudel gets a little bit of recompense there for the earlier demo. Nice little lift there, looking for Genetics on the end of it. Off the backboard, it's got Mavie in the rotation, but no dice there. Now we're going to see Mavie back there going aerial. Once again, nice little touch there, but gets around him. What a touch.
Now Genetics trying to keep the offense going here for Thomas Esports. This is going to be in the corner. Strudel still trying to keep it going. 2 defensive members for University of Buffalo finding themselves in that corner, maybe trying to get the 50 away. Genetics tried to get a demo on the Monomer, but was not able to get it. Monomer getting a nice flick to get it over the top of Strudel and keep the offense going now in favor of Buffalo. It's going to be a 50 for Dr. Beefcake on the 50. As Censored gets it over the top of Mavie. Still might have a touch here, trying to get it down. Beefcake just barely brings his off the crossbar. Monomer tried to get it back to him, but Strudel sends it away. Monomer keeping the pressure going for University at Buffalo. This offensive pressure from Buffalo is crushing, but Thomas Esports Black holding strong as Mavie sends it away.
I mean, that is a fantastic response there from both squads. Game number 2 was definitely in Thomas's favor, and now we're seeing, what the final product for both these teams could be. We're seeing great defensive holds here coming from Thomas. We're seeing the counterattack coming through as well. So Genetics and company, they're getting it done. We're looking for more physicality. We're getting it right there. Great 50 there along the midfield line.
Yeah, and when people think about physicality, they constantly are thinking about, like, oh, that means bumps and demos. Not necessarily. Physicality is 50s as well. Oh, Genetics losing his fight with the 4th man there as the crossbar not being his friend. Censored looking for the double tap. That's going to be a double commit, though, from University of Buffalo and a wide open net. Genetics with the score.
What a demo there at midfield as well. You'll see, or you'll hear the boom come through. There it is. And that leads to it. So, I mean, the pressure there, making sure that they weren't able to get a touch on the ball and throw it back in their offensive third, and it leads to a goal. 2 minutes off the clock here. 1-0 lead to Thomas Esports.
Well, it also looked like there was some miscommunication between, I believe it was Censored and Dr. Beefcake there, because they both challenged that floating ball off the backboard, which led to a double commit, which just left everything wide open on defense. So a little bit of a breakdown in communication for Buffalo. Hopefully they're able to kind of tighten that up as the rest of this game goes on. Still over half the game left to play, only finding themselves down by 1 here, so plenty of time for them to turn this around. Strudel trying to keep the offense pressure going here for Thomas Esports Black on the Buffalo side of the pitch, maybe in the left wing corner. Monomer off the ceiling. No boost to his name, but does have Sensor to help him out and send that one away. Sensor not quite able to get a bump onto Strudel. Did get one onto Genetics, but nobody from Buffalo able to capitalize on the fair start.
I mean, we're looking at just the absorption of power right now. I mean, that's what Thomas is doing. When they see that they're out of their offensive opportunity, they're rotating early and getting back into perfect position. We've seen both Strudel and Macy really get back defensively and make sure that there's no pressure on their goal. So I think that's another change that we've seen here. There's a good bump, though. That was going to be a goal-scoring opportunity.
That was, but what a fantastic aerial there from Mavy, just getting up super early to make that challenge. He's been doing that all series, just there's times when Mavy is up for these challenges before Buffalo even realizes they're making the challenge, and that has been critical for Thomas Esports Black, because it is what has gotten a lot of their offense going. Beefcake not quite able to get there as Genetics sends that one towards the right wing corner. Censored gonna collect this one, tried to fake out Mavy, but Mavy does get the touch, but Monomer is gonna be back. Genetics keeping it on the Buffalo side of the pitch and still keeping it in pressure for Thomas Esports. What a 50 there, as Mavy now trying to send this one into the net, but not quite able to get it as Genetics still keeping this one on the side of Buffalo. Not able to get it. Monomer saving that one away. Thomas Esports almost making it a 2-goal lead.
I mean, that's fantastic work out of them. Now we're at 1 minute left on the clock here. There's the gong for that sound. And I mean, nice, important touch there from Genetics coming in. And now we're going to see if they're able to turn this around. I mean, the pressure has been squarely on Thomas Esports' side here. Nice little touch in. They have an open goal. They need to get a touch on the goal. No dice.
Oh my goodness, but it still has a chance. Maybe tried to put the shot on, but saved away by Sensor. Strudel not gonna quite be able to catch up with this one as Genetics and Maybe sending this one back over towards their own left wing corner. It's gonna be Monomer waiting patiently for it. 30 seconds left, going for the air dribble, but a fantastic 50 there from Strudel. Oh, Strudel was trying to get the redirect as well. Genetics with the backflip on that instead of the 50. Maybe taking this one out of his own corner, trying to get the 50 here on the ground. That is going to be a pass over towards Sensor, who's going to take it back up to the corner, try to send it back out for a teammate, but Strudel is going to be there immediately. Buffalo have got to get something going here. Could this be it? What a save!
What a save!
What just happened? Oh, but it Sensor ties it up anyways.
What a save! I mean, what a series of touches there. I mean, look at that. Genetics with the epic save, the savior save, and then the follow-up on the back of it, the double commit going in for that save. Oh, man, 3 seconds on the clock here. Still time for somebody to come out unless we go to this golden goal situation. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Well, I say that. We've got a carry going in.
And that's going to find grass. there was a chance there, but it did not turn into anything. So we are going to get our first overtime of the series here in Game 3. What a way we got here, too. Like you were saying, a fantastic series of touches leading to that last-second goal by Buffalo. Now, are they going to be able to use that momentum and take this win here in overtime, or are Thomas Esports Black going to be able to keep the defense going as they have been all game and try and get a second win in a row and try and put Buffalo on match point here? Winner of this game does go to match point, by the way, as Genetics tries to get it, but a beautiful save right off the goal line. Maybe trying to drop it down. Dr. Beefcake getting a soft touch. Genetics not able to take advantage of it. Strudel trying to keep the offense going here for Thomas Esports Black, but Dr. Beefcake is going to try and send it away. Maybe trying to keep the 50 going as Strudel got the demo, but now here comes Monomer in the air. Tried to get the 50, but not going to get it. Genetics gets the touch, and we are still no score here in overtime.
Back and forth action. This is what you want to see. They're laying it out on the line. They all know that this is match point, for whoever wins this game. And there it is, Strudel! The bounce shot goes in underneath the flying defender, and that's going to be Thomas going up on match point.
This is an unfortunate touch from Monomer, sends it right into the corner, and it looked like whoever the defender was there on the goal line for Buffalo just thought there was somebody behind him, and there wasn't, but that starts with just such an unfortunate touch off the corner there from Monomer. That's why every coach ever will tell you, do not do exactly that touch. There's times when you just need to let the ball go. You don't have to touch it just because you see it.
Yep, and I mean, it does come back to bite them, but I mean, what an entertaining game number 3. I mean, do you see Thomas going now on to match point. So what kind of response are we going to get out from Buffalo? They came out strong game number 1, but have dropped the last 2. So game number 4 is really going to be the make or break moment here for Buffalo. They're 2-1 on the season. And, we were talking about, we only have one sample set from Thomas. Well, Thomas in that 3-0 victory looked pretty strong. This might be the team that everyone's going to be shooting for. WPU might have to have something looking at back in their rearview mirror here, as they've got the bye this week. They'll get they got the forfeit win over another team. I am blanking the name right now, who they're getting the forfeit win over this week. Basically a bye week for them. So they're looking for it. Oh no, the touch there is unfortunate.
Whoa. Oh, but great speed there from Dr. Beefcake to be able to get back and keep that from being an early goal for Thomas Esports Black. But they are going to keep the pressure going here as Maybe puts it in the corner, gets it past what Genetics tried to put it on. But once again, the defensive save coming out of Dr. Beefcake. So 30 seconds gone here in this game. Thomas Esports Black chasing the gentleman's sweep here. University of Buffalo trying not to find their second loss of the season here in week 4, as Thomas Esports trying to keep their record perfect during the first couple of weeks here of this season. 4 minutes left to play here. Maybe fighting on the midfield line. Thomas Esports Black looking good on offense, but the defense from University of Buffalo is still looking better.
Yep, and I mean, we're just going to see, it's going to take a little bit of a combination play, I think. We're going to look for, a touch, or, maybe a look off the backboard. We're looking for maybe a pinch situation or a demo on the line. It's going to take something a little bit more non-traditional for these teams to get in the back of the net. I mean, there's an open net situation.
But great defense from Strudels, just not panicking at all as he saw that shot coming towards him and just making sure that he was able to be where he needed to be, as Genetics not quite able to get the touch on that one. So now Monomer going to fake out Strudel on the wall, going to try and get the flick over the top, but Maybe is going to keep that one from going in. So Buffalo trying to be kind of sneaky with some of their offensive pressure here, but the defense from Thomas still holding on. Monomer was trying to fire that one on, but it does get turned away off the backboard by Strudel.
Well, I mean, we're looking now at, a consistent pressure coming from Buffalo right now, and it's putting Thomas Esports on the back foot, Oddfellow. And I think that's the big change right now, is that they're going into these challenges a little bit more committed than what we saw in games number 2 and 3. They're upping the physicality. They're also upping the tempo just a little bit, and you can see Thomas trying to slow that tempo back down just a hair back into their comfort zone. And I don't think that Buffalo is really wanting to relinquish control of the tempo being set right now.
And this is how you know that Thomas Esports is in control of this game right now, because they are setting the tempo. They went super high octane the last 2 games. Now they're trying to slow it down, but Buffalo taking advantage of it. There was a hole in the defense. Monomer saw it and scores the first goal of the game for Buffalo.
I mean, that's a great counterattack as well. And you know what? We're talking about tempo being set. Well, that's a great counter statement there coming from Thomas Esports. That's going to be, oh my word, that should have been a goal. What a save off the goal line.
That was such an intelligent play there between Genetics and Maybe kind of faking the touch. Genetics coming up to either get the bump or get the follow-on shot if he needed to. That was such a great idea from those 2 players, but unfortunately we're not able to get it as the defense from Buffalo were able to hold on. Now this is going to be a shot on here. I believe that was Monomer trying to put that one on, but it's going to ring off the crossbar. So Dr. Beefcake trying to keep the pressure on the Thomas Esports side of the pitch. It's going to be censored, sending that one into the right wing corner. Is going to get cleared out kind of by Maybe, but Monomer does put it right back onto the backboard. There's Dr. Beefcake not able to connect with it. Neither is Strudel. So Maybe gets a touch over the top, looking for it in the bottom corner, but not able to get the double tap. Genetics keeping it in offense here for Thomas Esports Black. It's going to be a great 50 from Dr. Beefcake, though, over to censored. Offense looking like it's starting to move in favor of University of Buffalo.
It really is. I mean, there was a little period there where we started seeing some connecting touches coming out from Thomas Esports. That's going to result in a save there coming from Strudel. Ball in front. That was a dangerous touch there. Nice push away to the outer wall. Now we need to see the transition game here for Thomas. That's something that we've been lacking here in games 2, or in game number 4 that we saw in 2 and 3. The transition game. They've really, Buffalo has really cleaned up the midfield rotation. I think that's what the real difference here in game number 4 is.
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing is it looks like I'm starting to not see the clears to pass as much as I was from Thomas Esports Black. Maybe trying to get the offensive pressure going here, and Maybe is another thing here. Buffalo really has kind of shut them down. Strudel trying to get the flip reset, but 2 different Buffalo defenders denying him that one, as Maybe trying to send this one away, but it gets a beautiful clear out there by Censored. Strudel with a fantastic 50, gets over the top of a defender, maybe is there, but not there quick enough. Oh, that's a mistouch from Monitor off the corner again, maybe too far forward, and oh, that's not going to be capitalized on by Thomas Esports Black. That might have been the scoring opportunity right there, Billy.
I mean, we're looking now for the counterattack. Once again, we see it get cleared out to the midfield line. And I mean, just a little bit of a wonky tuck from Genetics there. But it gets over the back of the defense. I mean, you're looking at a dangerous ball. You're going in. Strudel. Oh, that should have been the pitch to take them all.
Oh my goodness, that's two different scoring opportunities from Thomas Esports Black that have not been converted into points here. Oh, Dr. Beefcake off the corner does get it saved away there by Genetics, but immediately put right back on target. Strudel off the backboard. Navy is able to keep this one in the air. Monomer does catch up to it, drops it to the grass. Billy, going to game 5.
Oh, I think we deserve it from this series because of the back and forth play. We've seen game number 1 go in a three-goal victory for Buffalo. Then we see Thomas Esports Black roar back and take control of the series, putting themselves on match point. In game number 4, we see the adaptation, we see the resourcefulness, and we see the change of tempo come out from Buffalo. And now we're going to get that game 5. We're going to Champions Field, my friend.
Absolutely, gotta love it. And what better way to start off week 4 than with going to Champions Field? And we knew that we were talking at the beginning of the series that this series had the potential to be this close. It was going to be, is Thomas Black actually going to show up the way that we think they will, just based off of only one real game being played? And is Buffalo going to keep the momentum going from their previous sweeps? Now, obviously, the last time they went to a game 5, they dropped it. So that could bode poorly for University at Buffalo, but they've also had 2 weeks now to adjust and fix whatever mistakes they made in week 1. So this could be a very, very interesting game 5.
I mean, I'm hoping that we don't see the crushing soul break here coming through for another map 5 loss for Buffalo. They've got to have that in the back of their mind right now, and they're trying to expel and exercise the demons of week number 1 here. So this is all on the line here for Buffalo. They need to get that bad taste out of their mouth from week number 1 here in week number 4, and now 15 seconds in, they've got the pressure going on. So Champions Field is going to be the spot where we see everything happen in the end here. One team will rule it all. Oh, Strudel. Ooh.
Strudel tried sending that away from his own side of the pitch, but Dr. Beefcake again with the speediness to get back there and almost got the dunk over the top of Mavy, but Mavy's touch just good enough to keep that ball from finding the back of the net. Monomer sending this one towards the left side wall, opting to slow it down a little bit. Beautiful shot, but Mavy saw it all the way. Now Censored tried to get the slow touch, but Genetics again reading it. The reads from Thomas Esports Black all series have been absolutely phenomenal. They're not letting Buffalo get away with anything.
No, and I mean, this is exactly what you wanted to see from them. I mean, their defensive holds have been fantastic all series long. Just kind of got diffed out there. Game number 4, but I mean, it's all reset now. It's the 1st-to-1 here. Somebody's got to score. That's a great shot.
Beautiful pass, beautiful shot. University of Buffalo putting themselves on top here in Game 5. 1-0 with the early score in the first 60 seconds. So, Buffalo striking first here. Are they going to be able to keep that momentum going, or is Thomas Esports Black going to start taking some momentum for themselves here? But we are starting off very, very hot here on Champions Field.
I mean, we've seen the tempo changes come through fast and heavy from both teams. We've seen, Thomas really try to slow it down there. Genetics with a look, but a nice 50 there along the ground there. I believe, I'm not even going to guess who that was because I just couldn't see who it was, but I mean, it was a great 50 there along the midfield line. That should have been a shot opportunity, and now we're starting to see these committals coming in from Buffalo. Even more heavy. What a pass, what a touch, what a goal from Censored.
Beautiful solo play there from Censored, and Genetics tried to get a nice touch there. Maybe it looked like he was trying to catch up with this and just found himself too far low and then wasn't able to catch up and take the shot. So just great offensive pressure there from Censored, getting the solo goal and putting his team up 2-0 with 3 minutes left to play.
I mean, you know what? This might be the beginning of the end here. We need to see a response here in the next, 30 to 45 seconds from Thomas Esports. That's a great carry coming forward, but I think you leave that for Genetics there and continue to push forward. But Genetics is to get up high with the aerial loose ball. What a carry through coming from University of Buffalo there. That was great.
Yeah, the defense from Buffalo has been absolutely phenomenal the last 2 games specifically, and especially in this game when they need to be on top of their defensive game. When they're up by 2, they have that cushion. They cannot let that slip away from them, as we had a little bit of a technical glitch there, but game still continuing to run with about half the game left to play.
Yep, and I mean, 2:38 on the clock here. Genetics moving forward, looking for some contact in front. And I think that the panic button needs to be held off on here because you still got plenty of time to equalize here and just take one goal at a time. Get yourself into rotation. Get yourself through.
Genetics.
That's, oh my word, the great touch off the line.
Yeah, and you could see Monomer waiting for it. He was trying to decide if he was going to go off the ceiling for the squishy or stay on the ground, and luckily decided to stay on the ground. Is going to clear that one away off the backboard as well, but the pressure from Thomas Esports Black is all over Buffalo. Navy and Strudel find themselves a little too close to each other for my liking on the midfield, but not going to get punished for it as Genetics gets punished for that clear with a demo for Monomer.
I mean, Strudel still keeping up the pressure here. Gets a nice little touch in the corner, but that's going to be easily turned away and pushed out of the danger zone. Nice little 50 going in up against two defenders. And I mean, at the end of it, we're just wasting more time. This is all about possession right now for Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, honestly, they're going to try to score, but the biggest thing that I think they're trying to do at this point is just keep the ball away from Thomas Esports Black and play as good a defense as they can. As Strudel almost snuck that in underneath the crossbar. Censored, trying to get the clear away here. It's going to be a great 50 from Mavy. Mavy following it again off the wall, trying to go off the backboard. Strudel's going to be there, but Monomer, with 0 boost to his name, does get the save. Still 0 boost here for Monomer, but not afraid to make the challenge, and it actually throws off Genetics push, but Strudel is going to be there and gets the score for Thomas Esports.
That's why you follow up the ball, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary friends. That is why you follow the ball into the goal. You never know what kind of a touch is going to come off the defender, and that is, the goal that they needed maybe to get themselves turned back around here. So, we're at 60 seconds left on the clock here. They need a goal. They need it now. They need to get themselves into at least overtime here. Thomas Esports have worked their butts off here in game number 5 to get that reconciliation goal going through. And now we need to see what kind of action will they get on the end of it. Strudel.
Censor off the crossboard. Strudel had a great pinch that was headed right for the net, but the defense from Buffalo holding steady for now. 35 seconds left to go here. Another great 50 from Strudel, but Censor is going to be there to clean that up for his teammate Mavy. Trying to censor this one towards the midfield. Censored there again, but Genetics getting a 50 with both Buffalo players, but that is going to be Monomer sending that one over the top. Censored again, trying to go for it, trying to put the nail in the coffin, but no dice for University of Buffalo. Mavy was kind of waiting for that one. Strudel sending it away and gets demoed for his troubles. That demo might be the death knell here for Thomas Esports Black.
Might be 5 seconds left to go here. They got the big boost there on the side. Strudel with a lucky touch. We're going to see a 0-second drill. No, we're not. That's going to be it. That's going to be the 1-goal victory here. Buffalo do exercise their week 1 demons, Oddfellow, as they take it in a 2-1 fashion here in game number 5. What an exciting series for both of these squads.
Yeah, and just a phenomenal effort from all 6 players on the pitch. I don't think we could have asked for anything better than that. It was so close right up until the end, and honestly, until the clock got to those last 4 seconds, I wasn't sure if Thomas Black was still going to make something happen. So just fantastic all-around pressure, and it's like we've been saying, that is just a great mental win there for University at Buffalo, because yeah, they didn't get a third 3-0 sweep in a row, but they did reach a game 5 where last time they lost one, now they've won one, and that was definitely a big win for them. On the other side of that, Thomas Black knows how close they played that, so if I'm them, yeah, this loss stings, but I'm not hanging my head on it too much. That was a good loss.
No, if there's anything such thing as a good loss, I think this is one of those. I think it's going to sting them. I think it's going to drive them forward, just like we saw coming out from Buffalo. They've taken that 2-3 loss, from week number 1 and really driven forward with it. And like I said, they exercised the demons of week number 1 and now take themselves to 3-1 here in the spring split. But that's going to do it for us for this series. Don't go away. We're going to take a little bit of an extended break. We'll be back with your second series of the night in just a few minutes.
Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. FBI Tugboat here with my man and Oddfellow. Fortunately, one of these two teams here for the 8 o'clock block is going to be, unfortunately, 7 o'clock block is fortunately going to be MIA. We will try to get this squad up here and try and get some Rocket League action going for you guys, but as the rule of state, 2 minutes from right now, on the dot at 15, 1 minute from right now, if they don't show up, then that is it. Then that is a forfeit or a to be determined rescheduled match. Oddfellow, got anything for the good folks before we go to a bit of an extended break for our 8 p.m. match?
Not particularly. Just, these things happen. Apologies for the delay on everything. No hate towards anybody, and stick around for the 8 p.m. match.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, what this is spring break right now, midterm, stuff like that. Players might just have other priorities and stuff like that. Obviously, esports isn't everything, folks. If we do have a match, we will let you guys know. But otherwise, it's going to be about 45 minutes from right now. FBI Tugboat, Oddfellow, we'll catch you guys later. Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are going to have some Rocket League action coming at you. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with Whoops You. Whoops, how we doing?
I'm doing
That's
good,
not
man.
an odd fellow. That's not an odd fellow.
It's
the tag
okay.
is closed.
It's okay. I mean,
we'll
odd fellow.
We'll get it fixed.
He's a good caster as well, you know. But my name is indeed Whoopshoe at Whoopshoe Gaming on Twitter. There it is. We fixed it. See, like that's standard NA production.
Easy.
We're not surprised at all. But at the same time, I'm doing good, Tugboat. Excited to be here along with you. It's my debut here in the NECC as well.
Absolutely. Let's hop right into it after a little bit of a delay here, folks. We apologize for it. Hey, it's spring break and it's esports. Hop right into this one. This is the Redbird Black squad, JV squad, coming on in here against the University of Arkansas. Both of these teams 1-2 as of right now. Whoops you.
Yeah, I mean, both of the teams are 1-2, both picking up wins over Uni Purple as well. Of course, one doing it better than the other, and that is the Redbirds taking, oh my goodness,
okay.
a score already. Speaking of the Redbirds, they're going to start this one off in a 1-0 fashion. Not even sure. That was so fast off the kickoff, and the Redbirds just took full-on control of that possession.
It was Little right there, taking the first one very early. Now some mid-pitch action. Little, yet again, solo scorer thus far. Whips around to this one. SpongeBob actually going to be beating that one there. Now is Divine forced to pick this one up. Picks up a big boost on the way. That's not a bad look until this University of Arkansas Razorback player has something to say about it. This is the University of Illinois, correct? Redbirds?
Yep. University of Illinois. One of my, college teams here. I live in Illinois, so very, very excited to hop on the pitch for them. So hope they get this W today against Arkansas. So we're cheering for, at least me, I'm cheering for the Redbirds in this situation.
Unbiased casters, people. Remember that. Unbiased casters. Deep Bloody Divine pairing up with Little Bird here for the Redbird squad. Or Little Bird. Just Little. I'm not sure why I read it like that. It's funny. I'm sure he's a big bird. I'm sure he's a big old bird. SpongeBob G. Goober. Henceforth referred to as Goober or SpongeBob. Which are you feeling here, Whoops?
SpongeBob is fine with me, I believe. I mean, either or works for me, but I just kind of want to say SpongeBob on the pitch. But speaking of which, look at Deep Bloody. Going to score the second goal here for the Redbirds. Going to take command and control of this ball game so far, 2-0 in favor of the Redbirds.
Nicely done, Redbird squad. Little at the helm right here. It's a senior business administration student. It says here, played over 900 games of Rocket League in a single season.
Wow.
The grass was completely disregarded. Not touched once in that season.
Yeah, what is grass at that point in time, except for the Rocket League grass? I guess we could call this grass here on the pitch, but a little bit of a mix-up right there on the offensive end for Arkansas. They were going for, it looks like a little trickery play, missed touch off the back wall as well. Trying to keep the defense guessing here for the Redbirds, but they need to do a little bit more work here on the offensive end. They do have some sort of possession mounting, and on top of that, they have the boost control as well. So we should see a goal here pretty soon for Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas has really had on this offensive pressure the past 45 seconds or so. Multiple options, and it has not stopped. SpongeBob tries to wiggle one on in there. Not going to happen as easily. For the first time, again, 45, 60 seconds or so, this ball travels onto the Redbird Black defensive side for just a little bit, but the ongoing pressure cannot be contained. SpongeBob G. Gooba going to be getting this one in, shrinking this lead to 1 for the Redbird Black squad.
Yeah, that just came off of a missed touch, or a lack of a touch, I should say, from the defense here for the Redbirds. Just a whiff off the backboard and just left that one wide open for SpongeBob to have that attack. So a huge advantage right there for Arkansas. And like we talked about, something was just going to lead to a goal there for Arkansas. Nice shot right here for the Redbirds, though, but the defense on point right there for SpongeBob. But at the same time, I mean, Tugboat, I mean, that's just what happens in this ball game. Basically, there's just so much pressure. The defense has to deal with it and have to escape with a clear, or else this happens.
Divine gifted one from up above, it seems. That's a double commit right there between SpongeBob and Vantage. Not Vantage, not Vintage, but Vantage. And those are going to be taken advantage of every single time. Open net as open as it gets. Slow blow down bottom. Redbird purchases the insurance goal. That's a lead of 2 here, folks.
Right back to 2 we go. Almost 2 minutes remaining in this ball game, too. And looks like, to me, it's still anybody's ball game. I mean, there's still a lot of time on the clock. Nothing really too crazy just yet as far as like trying to rush some sort of shots or some sort of plays. Speaking of which, this one's going to find its way through for Quicks. They cut that deficit in half. Only down by 1 now is Arkansas.
Nicely done. Yeah, so this is much more easy to work with right here. Quicks, that's the Information Systems Junior over there at the University of Arkansas. This is the Challengers Heartland Division, as, by the way, folks, not sure if we mentioned that earlier. So, Champions the highest, Challengers second highest. We're looking at some pretty high-level Rocket League going down right now. 2 minutes left on here. University of Arkansas down by 1. Solid shot here from the Redbirds. Vantage gains this one back on out to the right side. Little bit of wonkiness, actually kind of using the offender right there to rest this ball on in. Little up and down, doesn't quite make connection right there. Weak hit, going to be set up for Quicks right here as they dash now down the field. Divine trying to pick this one up and does, since it's back to middle pitch.
Much just a battle of the midfield possession at this point in time. Redbirds kind of trying to keep Arkansas over towards the orange end and vice versa. But at the same time, neither team really just establishing any dominance just yet. I do like the demolition right there. That's a good observation. Oh my goodness, what a save on the goal line too. Divine looking absolutely sublime, I should say, in that situation. And just keeping that ball out, and more importantly, keeping the Redbirds up by 1.
That lead of 1 can be dissolved away immediately. As we know, a little bit less than 1 minute right here. Redbird Black, there will not be a time waste situation on this until they score again, perhaps. Arkansas taking this one away. Little across the bottom here. That big hit up to the up top here, Whoopsie, did purchase their team a lot of time here, but immediately, even though it was Divine, got up to this one. Sent it back on over towards it. Middle pitch we go. Solid shot. University of Arkansas. Follow up. And that's going to be a tie game.
Yeah, this is just a huge mistake. Gave Vantage a lot of time to make his decision. SpongeBob as well. And then an unnecessary swishy save from Divine. Just pretty much trying to guess as to where SpongeBob was going to put that one, because he had the whole entire net. Like almost like a penalty kick in soccer at that point in time. But more importantly, it just ties the ball game up for Arkansas. So a huge clutch situation, huge clutch moment right there for SpongeBob.
Back to middle pitch we go. Divine trying to get something going, retain that lead they had earlier. That is almost low enough to be really dangerous. Follow-up shot. Floody read this one perfectly. Kind of saw those players there rolling on in. Quicks tries something aerially. I think we're going to overtime here in game number 1. See how this one goes. Divine shot over, blocked, now down. Is going to get that off the backboard. But, hey, to overtime we go. These are 2 teams that have 1-2 records as of right now and fighting tooth and nail for it, Whoops you.
Yeah, I was going to say that, man. This looks like some 2, like maybe 3-1 teams, or, 2-1 at the very, very least. Not 1-2 in this situation, because they looked really good. Both teams. I mean, Arkansas being down by 3 for the majority of this game and then fighting their way back to tie it up and force overtime. On top of that, the Redbirds just had some crazy offense to begin with in this ball game. We haven't seen that just yet here in overtime, nor towards the tail end of that ball game, regulation, I should say. But at the same time, they do knock on the door right here in OT. Dangerous situation to be in, but Arkansas, they do combat that.
Yeah, everybody clinching up a little bit right there every time the ball goes across that pitch, especially for the University of Arkansas. Members of Redbirds would love to hop all over it, but now they're back to the offense they go. Outside, Vantage now. Forced to pick this one up. Bouncing left side now. That's going to be decently centered until Little's got something to kind of interject right there. Divine down bottom. A little bit of slower play. Vantage, nice takeaway. That's a little bit lower, a little bit more to the right. This is game 1. That one's too high. Quicks there. Quicks inside. And the University of Arkansas strikes first in game number 1.
It just came off of another mistake here on the defense for the Redbirds. You see Quick just sizing that one up off the back wall, knew exactly where he wanted to place that one. Divine, once again, had to play that guessing game. And in this situation, Arkansas won here in game number 1. But it was a close matchup here, Tugboat.
Yeah, I think you really hit the nail on the head right there. It seemed like this University of Illinois squad, or Illinois State University, Illinois State squad, they again, you just put it like very, very succinctly, very, very perfectly. These defensive mistakes got taken advantage of almost every single time. There was one time that there was really like a real formative push on in here from Arkansas where they like take a demo, get some passes in, and then get one. Other than that, it was pretty much just capitalizing on these Redbirds mistakes when it was on defense. We saw double commits. We saw I think that was D Floody. The last one just simply didn't come off the backboard. Not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, the defense was a little bit lacking, and basically they just couldn't kickstart their offense back again, like how they had that success so early on here. We saw a couple of goals early on, but like we said before, Arkansas just came back. They combated that. Then we saw one more back from the Redbirds, and then basically it just started snowballing out of control for their defense, and Arkansas took full-on advantage of it.
See how this one goes, and if Arkansas is able to maintain their lead going into game number 2. A little bit of offense right now against the Redbirds now. Nice shot. That's going to be inside. That looked like to me it was going to hit bottom right corner, but okay. Okay.
I mean, just a really well-placed shot, and once again, look at the defensive mishap right here. Little was trying to push it over into the corner, but it was just such a good read. I mean, I'm taking a lot of credit away from this Arkansas offense. It's a solid read right there from SpongeBob, taking full-on advantage of what's presented in front of him, and he just makes matters do with what he got, and it results in a goal here for Arkansas.
Do what you can with what you got here, whoops you. Resourceful Rocket League players here across this pitch as of right now. 45 seconds into this one. A little bit of a lead, but nothing insurmountable. Divine kind of pitches this one up. Vantage is going to be able to come up and at least influence a little bit. Nice hit. Vantage now off and to try and pick up big boost. Gives it over to teammate. What a selfless guy. What a selfless guy.
I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to kind of be selfish in Rocket League. You know, try to work together. If you have that one person who has an ego on the team, it's going to really hold down the whole entire team. You know, we always talk about the 1-man, 2-man, 3-man rotation. Always that one man's the scorer, quote unquote. But you have to work together cohesively and pretty much just push this ball back past the defenders. We see it a lot in professional Rocket League. A close shot right here from Little. A great pass. I think that was Divine from the Redbirds. We talk about it all the time in professional Rocket League, how you see that person being a disruptor, you know, getting demolitions, chasing people off like you see right here from SpongeBob.
Yep.
And basically that's what you need. You need one cohesive unit pushing up.
Ooh, just like that. Little. Not going to be denied thrice right there. Had plenty of shots. Again, Business Administration Senior getting this one done. Also wanted to give a shout out here. That's Divine. Says here they're new to the team, I'm assuming on this semester, perhaps this school year. Junior over there, Divine. Welcome to the squad. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Pie time. That's 3-1-4 up top, folks. This one's tied up. 10-10, 0-0. Doesn't matter. The score difference is nothing. It's nil. To quote our soccer friends.
Yeah, but now you're starting to see a lot more offense from the Redbirds. So this is what we expected to see from the tail end of that game number 1. But Arkansas pretty much was just taking over. They had so much momentum. But now the Redbirds are starting to wake up. You're starting to see it very, very difficult for Arkansas to push this ball past the midfield line. Minus this possession right here. Oh my goodness, what a bump from Vantage onto the goal line. And right back to work they go on offense.
Yeah, might have been a little bit anxiety-inducing there for the defense, but no harm, no foul. Defense holds strong. Speaking of defense, here's the Redbirds yet again. Nice pass down bottom. Is this going to turn into anything? I don't think it is, especially Divine. A little bit of a weaker hit, but that just let Quick get this one rather fast. Shot down bottom. My. That's just a little bit off to the bottom left.
And it almost came down to another mistake for the Redbirds defense. They passed that one into transition. But speaking of transitions, D. Floody with a great solo play right here. A little bit of help from the defense of Arkansas, but at the same time, he was bringing that one upfield.
Yeah, not to be denied. See if this lead holds. Redbirds take the lead for the first time in this game number 2, and I think for the first time in the series. It was Arkansas that struck first earlier, right? Game 1?
I believe the Redbirds actually struck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Redbirds actually did strike first. Yeah, they scored that first goal. It was like 15 seconds in game number 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. 100% right. That's why you got co-casters like this, people. Gonna keep you honest. Gonna keep you honest. It's not an easy job.
Next time I'm wrong, I'm gonna be like, you're never right. I'm like, here's the clip.
There you go. Gaslighting tugboats. I'm with it. We're gonna be looking at Redbird defense right here. Vantage outside. Divine's got plenty of boost right here, but that just gets easily taken away. Arkansas up. SpongeBob, nope, doesn't get the good angle on it. And Floody is gonna feast on the results of that missed shot.
Another chance right here for the Redbirds as well. Quick, and mistake from Quick, and a save from SpongeBob on the goal line just in the nick of time. Picks up a lot of boost as well, has a lot to work with. Flip reset, should see another hit there. Could pick up an interception from D. Floody at the midfield line. But right back to work. It's a 1v2 situation. Little has to play this one perfect, or it's going to be trouble here for the Redbirds.
Yeah, everybody coming crashing in right now. Floody forced to flip left side right there. Now another centering shot. That's up,
Wow.
that's over, that's across. That's looking dangerous. A shot across the bow right here. But again, nothing landing.
Oh!
Dude. It is not for lack of trying here, people. Vantage on the backside of what would have been the flashiest goal on broadcast today. I think that's fair to say.
That would have been absolutely disgusting. That angle, the 50-50, the aerial mechanics, everything just combined would have been so perfect to add to anyone's highlight reel in that situation. But regardless, they do get the tie. Looking at another potential overtime situation here with only 45 seconds left.
Well, we got a couple score differences, but nothing really big right here. Vantage kind of proving what they can do. SpongeBob giving it up. That's not too... Oh my goodness, it was too high. The fourth man comes in, the top
So
bar,
crazy.
to give this and to take us away here, Whoops you.
Absolutely nutty performance right now from the Redbirds defense and from the Rocket League gods as well, keeping this one even. Looking at another, like we said, overtime match of 20 seconds left on the clock. Arkansas is knocking on the door. Can they push this one through? SpongeBob, dangerous enough, already up in the air, has himself 1 goal, looking to make it 2. Divine pushes this one to the left side. Little's going to have that clear. A miss from Arkansas's defense. We're going to open the door wide open. Little can't make the contact, though. Off the back while we go. As soon as this one hits the ground, we should see overtime, and they're going to play it safe right towards the midfield as Arkansas.
It was 3-4 last time. It'll be 3-2 this time. Which side will take it? I am not going to predict that one, folks. That's a lot of offense here from the Redbirds early. Tries to get up to it. Kind of tips it back on up to the ceiling. And Quick should have a lane to get this one through. Actually kind of escorting that a little bit. Not 100% sure. Redbirds squad. I believe that was Floody down bottom. Nice hit. Floody, that backside. Forced to get this one back out. Double commit right here. That's going to be 2 eyes. Only 1 player down bottom to even try and take this one up. And Vantage forced to get on the back quickly. Does hit this vertically, or horizontally, excuse me. Quicks up top. Little meets them there. Down bottom. No, SpongeBob can't do it again.
And this is for match point for Arkansas, I believe. If everybody wants to remember back to that game number 1, they won it. And this is only a best-of-5 series. So unless I'm mistaken, this might be a best-of-7. But please, let me correct me if I'm wrong. So Illinois really needs to do something here. As I say that, Quick is going to go ahead and deny that request and push this one through. They went in overtime again.
Yeah, so now a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series for the University of Arkansas. The Razorbacks really hunting in a pack right now, Whoops, if you'll forgive it. Taking a look at the numbers, Mason. See kind of how these teams shook up. Yeah, I think this kind of, when you take a look at the shots attempted, I think this one makes sense. Little and SpongeBob both with 4, but the big difference comes in the 6 otherwise shots from University of Arkansas and the only 2 from the side of the Redbird squad.
Yeah, I mean, they started off so hot. Once again, they had the offense. They started to kickstart the offense again, but at the same time, it just came down to what? The defense, the defensive mistakes that Illinois had. On top of that, Arkansas was just at the right place at the right time and capitalized on those mistakes too. So if Illinois finds a way to combat those defensive mistakes, they really do have a shot here. But at the same time, they need to power that with that strong offense and pretty much keep the pedal to the metal the whole entire time to keep the pressure onto Arkansas.
Yeah, this is either sweep or reverse sweep territory as of this point. University of Arkansas takes this next one, even though they might be close, even though they might literally both first 2 been in overtime, maybe third in overtime as well. They take it. That'll be it for the best-of-3 series. It's one of those times that, if this next one goes to overtime and Arkansas takes it again, it's like, well, yeah, it was a 3-0, but it was like literally as close as it could get.
I mean, this is really a literal coin flip. I love it when it's like this because it keeps us on the edge of our seats the whole entire time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like we said before, close shot. Saved away, though. Divine almost had that one in the first 15 seconds of this ball game again. But at the same time, I mean, it makes it for some interesting Rocket League, but it's so hard to predict for the casters, and we hate that because we like it when it's just like, hey, this team's going to win. I'm going to be right. Open net opportunity for D. Floody. Is that one going to find its way through? The third man for Arkansas is going to keep that one up. Ooh, oh, my goodness. Another save. SpongeBob keeping Illinois out.
Yeah, and generally, sponges have holes in them. Not this one. Not this one at all. Oh, man. We're having fun here. Thank you. SpongeBob and the rest of University of Arkansas holds strong. That was 3 solid shots. Like, you cut and paste these. You Control X, you Control V elsewhere. Other games, those are goals all day long.
Yeah.
Against defensive players. But University of Arkansas members, just perfect positions, perfect timing, and probably thousands of hours of practice, let's be honest, yielding not one, not two, but 3 of them in a row right there. Crazy stuff. University of Arkansas faces a little bit of defense for just a little while. Floody, weak clear right here, but going to be popping that up for Divine. Taking a little bit off of the top right there is Vantage. Vantage left side, Quicks to the inside. Quicks gets that one blocked. Another shot! SpongeBob Goober takes the lead for University of Arkansas yet again.
Yeah, big chance right here. Another big opportunity. And I mean, that one just came from a quick shot from Quicks. And then once again, who was there? SpongeBob. Right place, right time. Arkansas has just been capitalizing on these opportunities that the Redbirds have been presenting to them this whole entire series, and they get another one here.
Another shot over. Easy stop from the sideboard. Members of the defense not biting on that one too much. Little hit. That's buying the Redbirds defense a little bit of time. That's back to the outside. No members of University of Arkansas able to pick this one up after it, though. Quick is beat out by Floody. So Redbirds getting into the offense, or at least assuming to.
It's good demolition.
Good demo. That'll frequently result in the onslaught of offensive pressure that just cannot be undone. Back to the middle we go. The University of Arkansas has just straight up controlled this ball for 2 minutes now, man.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I mean, especially in that situation right there, we just seen, you saw the pass back. Usually, typically, that defensive player would just rotate back through and allow the offender to start to do something with the ball, maybe pass it into the corner or whatever, and that second man back in the rotation would take care of it. But right there, that first man back in the rotation just was there to be a disruptor, was there to get that ball away, and it works out in their favor for Arkansas.
Floody keeps the dream alive here for the Redbirds. They go down by 2 with less than halftime left. Again, we called an insurance goal for a reason, folks. Little. Except this one on the outside actually misses it. He gives this up to Vantage. They have plenty of boost, and that's going to be another goal right here. Man, I hate to sound like a broken record here, Whoops You, but the defensive mistakes side of Redbirds just remain a thorn in the side.
I'm going to disagree with you. This one was not a defensive mistake. This was an individual pop-off play right here from Vantage. He picked up that 100 boost at midfield, had the aerial mechanics and the control of the ball to just push that past the last defender right there. That was just an insane individual play. This right here, however, is a huge mistake. Going for the challenge when you're the last person back in the 2v1 situation, you just can't do that.
Little right there as well. Yeah, you got to have to wait for this one. If it's a pass, it'll always come into a shot immediately afterwards. I genuinely hope, yeah, obviously we've been critical of both of these teams thus far, but I genuinely hope that this is not a Redbird squad that's now kind of phoning it in.
Yeah, me either. I mean, there's still 2 minutes left. You can still kind of do something there, especially if you pick up a goal right there. Little just, rattling the cages of Arkansas. Just can't pick up a goal here, but you do see that Illinois does look a little deflated here in this situation. They're a little bit slower on contact. They're kind of second-guessing themselves here.
I definitely agree with you. That's a great way to start this one. Divine out to the middle. Yeah, okay, so a couple different Redbirds players are kind of like on the wrong latitude, I suppose. Only one on the right longitudinal. And after that's nothing even close to a clear. The Floody just going to get teed up on this one.
And it does cut that lead down to 2 goals now. A minute and 39 seconds. It is possible. They do start off with the possession on the orange side of the field. So if they can walk away with a goal in this segment of offense, they do indeed have the chance for a comeback. But we're going to see if it's going to be possible or not. Tugboat.
That's me way too high. Little should be able to influence and does. Quick picking this one up, but immediately, hey, they say keep your eyes on the ball. Well, you should always keep your eyes on the 100-kilometer-an-hour Rocket League cars that are just flying at you. Oh. Demo's really coming in and having much more of an effect in the later part of this match, Whoops You.
I mean, that was such a good takeaway right here from Arkansas's defense as well. That interception was so crucial. It could have led to some sort of offensive opportunity here for the Redbirds, but nonetheless, now Arkansas just stalling some shots out. They're not really trying to take too many chances just yet. This could be a goal, an opportunity, a drop-down waterfall pass, and I think that's quick. That's just a little bit too early on that attack. Now the clock is definitely working against the Redbirds. They need to pick up the pace just a tad bit.
Yeah, they really do. Average of about 17 seconds per goal, and that's just to tie it up here, folks. Another solid shot. This has been nothing but the University of Arkansas offense. Again, past 30, 45 seconds or so. Another shot on over. That's going to be influenced by Little. Nice hit. One of the biggest clears we've actually seen so far. That's top board and out. And there's more of a centering shot. SpongeBob up to it. Plenty of boost with which to get this one out. Little now coming off from the side. They can't afford, they can't afford to pass this to the middle and keep giving these up. They got to get in the offense. This basically has to be scored 2 seconds. Not going to happen. We have your winners. We have your losers. The University of Arkansas might be 3-2, might be 4-1. It is 3-1 here to finish this one out. And an incredibly close match goes down to the wire, right? To 2 overtime games.
Yeah.
Score difference of 2 in the end.
Yeah,
And even look at these numbers. It's just so much more even.
Yeah, I was gonna say ultimately it did come down to those 2 first overtime matchups where the first game was 4-3 and the second game was 3-2. So that's just a 1-2 goal differential right there. Then obviously headed into that last one, they won this one 3-1. But I mean, me and you were talking in the green room about these 2 teams. We thought it was gonna be a close matchup. It was indeed a close matchup, although they did get swept. But we can reference back to Wayne State College, a team that both teams played. Basically, the advantage goes over towards Arkansas just slightly, though. They took them to game number 5, lost that series, though, ultimately 3-2, whereas Illinois State, they lost that game 3-0. So, I mean, we did give the advantage over to Arkansas. I was just hopeful and thought that the Redbirds could kind of pull this one out.
Yeah, no, the most heartbreaking part of this is, I mean, I guess the most heartbreaking part would be losing like 3-2 in game number 3, right?
Yeah.
Like you have 2 overtime losses, score difference of 1 right there, come down to the wire, last little bit, and then it happens again. But, I mean, not that losing 3-1 is any better. It just would have been, the precipice, right? The precipice.
Yeah.
That's going to be it between Redbird Black, it's the JV squad, and the University of Arkansas. We'll be looking at the Maverick Black squad. Yes, the Maverick Black squad taking on Barton College here in just a little bit. That's going to be about 20 minutes or so, right, Whoops you?
I mean, yeah, 20 minutes or so. We're going to see what happens. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but we're going to be here regardless, Tugboat. We're going to keep you guys updated.
Absolutely. Back with you guys in just a little bit. FBI Tugboat, Whoops you, and all of us over here at NECC. Hello and welcome back, Rocket League fans. We're back. We're here. We're live. The last match, the NECC, starts now. FBI Tugboat here with my man Whoops You. And we got Uno Black, that is the University of Nebraska at Omaha, a 2-0 squad, taking on Barton Esports, another 2-0 squad here, Whoops.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty even matchup once again. One of these teams, unfortunately, going to be walking away with a loss here on their record. Neither team wants that, of course. Nobody likes losing, right, Tugboat? But at the same time, this is one of those coin flip matches again, just like the last one that we had as well. Anybody can win this matchup.
Yeah, just as a recap here, that was Redbird Black taking on the University of Arkansas. Both 1 and 2 squads. Now Redbird Black, a 2 and 2 squad after a first 2 games that went to overtime. And the last game, there was still a score difference of only 2. 3-0 it was, a sweep it was, but still relatively close within those individual games. Let's take a look at these two teams. Again, this is going to be the last on the last match here for our Stream B. We got Not a Jewel, PZA Stupod. PZA Stupod.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading
Zaw
too.
Stupid? Zaw Stupid? I have no idea. And Jalebi Jace here for the top squad. That is Maverick Esports Black. When I say top, I just mean on this sheet right here. We are not taking predictions quite yet.
I mean, no, not just yet, but at the same time, I would love to hear your take as to who you think is going to win this matchup. I went all in with the Redbirds here. I picked a side and it did not work out in my favor, so I'm a little bit hurt right now being 0-1. So I got to hear what you're going to say. But the starting roster for Barton Esports is going to be Active Decrease, Shay La Kin, Yuki, and Argonauts. So Argonaut is going to be the last person rounded out. Who the starting 3 is still a question. As we set up game number 1, the lobby is indeed being set up. But Tugboat, I have to ask you, between these two teams here, just the stats provided for us, who do you think is going to win this matchup?
Let's see. I'm going to say mild edge over here for the University of Nebraska. Sole reason, Not a Jewel right here. This is the only player I've had a lot of experience with. They played for Buena Vista last season as well.
Okay.
Let's get this one going. Mavericks on the left in the blue. Barton right in the yellow.
Now
Schlaken, excuse me. Schlaken, not Schlurred. I don't know.
So I was going to say, if you would have asked me, I think Barton might have a little bit of a disadvantage here, maybe a little bit of an advantage here. I'm not too sure yet. I still haven't really declared as to who I think is going to win this matchup. I think I might go with Barton just to kind of combat it just a little bit, make it a little bit more competitive between you and I.
I'm with it. I failed to make a prediction last time. You missed yours. You got to go for that even 500.
Yeah.
And which will, of course, be higher than my 0 if I get this one wrong. As far as like 3-2s, 3-1s, 3-0s, I'm not really 100% sure about this. I would kind of be surprised if we see another sweep, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would too. Both of these teams, like I said, coming into this one, relatively even. Even the last couple of games that they played, as Patrick's going to score this one. Pizza Stupod is going to score it. We're going to call him Patrick, I think, from here on out, just to make it easier on us as far as we're casting. But a good goal, solo, individual play, pop-off potential right here for the Mavericks, starting off early.
Yeah, so Barton going down 1, but about a minute in. This wasn't a particularly early goal. Didn't take a long time either. Back to middle pitch we go. Argonaut trying to posture up for this. It was Yuki that got the hit over here and put the Mavericks onto defense for just a little while. Jace is this one back over. Just kind of puts it right into the breadbasket of Schlaken right there. Stupod out and over. The Mavericks strike again.
Yeah, good shot once again. Right place, right time. You see Stupod here at the midfield line, taking that ball away. The far clear working out in their favor, or trying to work out in the Barton's favor, but intercepted at midfield here by the Mavericks, and they take full-on advantage of that mistake right there from the defense.
Not a Jewel. Jace right here. Going to be able to go forth. Get a lot done. Argonaut out to the inside. Schlaken puts this one down bottom. Yuki going to be able to block this one away for just a little while. Now, back out. Barton College still on the defense. Hit over left side. Down bottom now. This is just a left corner here. A little bit of frame stuff, guys. We'll get this figured out.
Yeah, just a tad bit. Makes it a little bit more difficult for the viewers as well as the casters, but at the same time, you still have a ball game on the end. The player's not affected by this whatsoever.
Yeah,
they're
not
on
affected.
A lobby here for Rocket League. But at the same time, I mean, it still is a really, really good showing here for the Mavericks. They're starting to have all this pressure onto Barton. And on top of that, take full-on advantage once again. Another goal coming from the Mavericks. And that's 3 goals now, only 3 minutes left in this ball game.
Yeah, Stupod right here. Stupod or Patrick. We had a little bit of a back and forth earlier, but 2 minutes into this one, Mavericks have really put a solid foot forward as of right now. Barton winning kickoff, though, until Jewel brings this one off the top wall. Now back and down. Argonaut hitting this one out. Jace tries to redirect this one, leans it down bottom. Yuki going to be able to get that clear, and Jace now running it down on the right side.
I want to say that is a hat trick as well in favor of Patrick. So everybody is aware.
Yes.
We are going to go ahead and go back to cameras real quick as we get everything sort of situated. But that is a hat trick and an impressive hat trick as well for the Mavericks. I mean, just a lot of offense so far, a lot of everything going into their favor. Basically, just putting so much pressure onto the backs of Barton, keeping everything on that orange side of the field, and just not many mistakes coming out from the Mavericks. Is all I can really say here. Talk about.
Especially like defensively and whatnot. That is Patrick over here for the side of the for the Mavericks. That is the freshmen have not declared their major quite yet. Obviously, got plenty of time, several more years for right there. Many prerequisites are done in that freshman. Yeah, that is a very good point. I think that's kind of like one of the standard things everyone says to freshmen in their college years, like, oh, you got plenty of time. Just don't, you got plenty of time as long as you don't take all of that time, right? So only 4 years right there. No need to stretch it on out like say certain play-by-play casters did. No, don't know who that could be. Don't know who that could be.
Hey,
but,
at least if you finish school, if you're talking about yourself, I went for 3 years and never finished.
Geez.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wasn't done necessarily. I just kind of wasn't declared until about my junior year, and then after that, I was like, you know what? I don't want to finish school. I'm just gonna go ahead and write this one off and not finish it. But at least take your gen eds and kind of figure out what you want to do, and just be true to yourself is the best advice I can give you. Be true to yourself. Go to school for what you want to do, not what everybody else kind of is forcing you to kind of do. Just be smart about it.
Yeah, just be smart about it. Like, and again, I mean, college is for many things, right? It's for figuring yourself out as an adult, sort of finding like-minded people, developing interests, like kind of away from your hometown, your home school, your home pod,
Exactly.
right? Like that whole life that people spend 18 years kind of culminating and whatnot. And that's why a lot of times, I'm not saying it's 100% necessary, but I'm saying there is a cheat code along with leaving your hometown, just from, maybe whether that's just even like, an hour or two away or cross country, or even across the world, another country, working or studying abroad, right? These are things that have been available to young folks for a very long time. I'm just really glad that esports is now getting much more involved in this. What we're saying overall here, people, is do as we say, not as we do. Okay, how about that? How about that one?
I got a better one for you to talk about. How about this one? Okay. You might be old enough for this reference. How about take chances, make mistakes? Miss Frizzle said it the best. I really feel like it. It's something to live by. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. I mean, I think me and you probably wouldn't even be here casting if it wasn't for us stepping out of our comfort zone and just basically taking the plunge into what this is. Especially like I said, a lot of people sit there and criticize you for what you're going to do. Just do it anyway because it makes you happy. That's exactly why I'm here in the booth with you.
Exactly. I literally got here going to college, graduating, getting the degree, worked in an office, selling marketing online, TV, and billboard marketing. We worked with radio a little bit as well, and I worked there for about 9 months. Nothing against that company, but that was that whole cubicle lifestyle, looking for any reason to pop on up and head on over to the water cooler with your buddy to waste a few minutes. Yeah, that ain't for me. Yeah. Personal opinion, human beings aren't meant to live in cubicles, especially not for 40 hours a week. It didn't work out for me, and I did a little soul searching, went on a little trip, did kind of figured out what exactly it is that I wanted in life. Not all of the things I wanted in life, but figured out one thing, and that was casting. I sat down and casted one game, one time, fell in love. It was simple as that. Now 5 years later or so, here I am.
Now you're traveling the country, casting, doing what you love for a living for the most part, and it's an experience. It really is. Like you said, it's never done. It really never is. You're always constantly learning, constantly changing things as well. Adapting lifestyles is, I guess, what we can kind of say in the situation.
Adapting lifestyles, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Update for game number 1 as soon as we possibly can. Yeah. We're still trying to sort out the difficulties. So if you guys are just joining us, this is going to be Maverick Esports, aka University of Nebraska Omaha, taking on Barton Community College. And both of these teams, if you're just catching up, 2-0 on the season. One of them is going to walk away a loser here. Last we knew, about 2.5 minutes left in the ball game, Mavericks were up 3-0 in that ball game. So once everything gets situated, we are indeed going to hop back into that action. But we're not too sure how long that's going to be just yet.
Yes. Yeah, this is not just diary with tugboat time. I promise. I promise. We're just trying to entertain while we get back on into there. One of the things that I have also. This definitely sounds like old man yelling at cloud right now, but I'll admit that. One of the things too, especially if you're younger folks, travel. Right now is spring break for a lot of these teams. There's been other midterms and whatnot that has yielded a couple cancelizations, a couple forfeits and whatnot on stream here today. Other organizations as well. I don't necessarily mean like the classic, college trip down to Florida or Panama City or whatever, Panama City Beach or whatever else like that. But just like in general, travel based on your interests. Travel, and when you do travel, try and get layovers places. A day layover in certain places, save a little bit of cash, but still go to like investigate the city, to actually see the city, and not just be a place that, oh yeah, I was in, I don't know, Phoenix or something like that, right? I just say Phoenix. I'm not disparaging Arizona. What'd you say?
I said I was in Phoenix's airport, not necessarily in Phoenix. I didn't get to see Phoenix. I was in the airport,
Exactly. That's what they do in trades when you're right. Exactly. Can you really say you've been to Arizona if you've just been to the airport? And again, not disparaging Arizona or Phoenix here. I just mean people not your major cities. It's easy to investigate LA. It's easy to go to New York City. It's easy to go to Miami and see all of these places, right? There's so much to do. So many people that live there. It's almost easy if you do any amount of traveling to go forth and then spend some time in a city like that. Pretty much anywhere up and down the coast of California, Chicago, even, right? There's just so much stuff going on. There's so many people there. You can almost be guaranteed that you'll go there at some point. Vegas, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to San Diego, going for the LA Winter Major. I'm going over there. That's the LA Winter Major. The San Diego Winter Major for Rocket League, so I'm very excited for that. First time going to San Diego. Have a couple hour layover in Las Vegas. Not too sure what I'm going to do just yet, but I have a couple of friends that live over there. Maybe we'll meet up for some lunch or whatever it may be. So I'm really, really excited about that. But you're talking to the person that has traveled quite a bit themselves. I've been to the Philippines twice. A couple interesting facts about myself. I'm part Filipino, so I got to go back home and see the homeland a couple of times with my grandmother. So it was really, really cool. And you hit the nail right on the head, man. It's just go experience life, go step out of your comfort zone a little bit, and get away from the small town vibes and stuff. Go experience it. Take the plunge, and like you said, if you can't afford it too, don't put yourself in crazy amounts of debt so you can't afford it. But if you can do it, then 100%, I recommend it as well. The world is so big yet so small. There's just so many people that you meet across the world. For example, when I went to the Philippines the first time, I met somebody who was actually from Iowa, close enough that we knew exactly where we were. So I was like, we had that talking point. We hung out and we had a good time.
Yeah. There you go. So was that the one thing, Whoops, you said about the small town vibes? I would say even I'm not the first person to say this, and I love New York City. Let me preface with this, right? But New Yorkers specifically from New York City, from one of the 5 boroughs, are some of the worst traveled people in the planet because they just get fed constantly oh, it's the most cultured city in America. It's the Paris of the U.S., right? Things like this. Yeah, New York City is awesome. There's no one location that can provide you all the experiences in this world, or even the experiences in New York, the state, and much less the Eastern Coast, right? New York City, again, love the city, been there many times myself, have loads of friends there, loads of good times have been had there personally. For example, my birthday's on New Year's Day. I spent my 21st in New York City.
Wow.
But
cool.
Again, New York City has some of the, its residents, people who are from there, some of the worst traveled people around, because I think they just kind of get into that mentality that, oh, well, I can do anything in New York City. It's a city that never sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's not one city on this planet, folks, at least that I have been to, they can provide all of those things.
I'm gonna step out on a limb here, Tugboat. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you a hot take, whatever it's called. Be a controversial take, I guess I can kind of say, but Chicago's better. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Chicago is better. I'm from Chicago.
So pizza thing.
I mean, yeah, we can fight about the pizza thing. We can fight about better food, whatever it may be. The city is better, cleaner. The air is fresher, whatever it may be. All across the board, dude, Chicago is just 100% better. Of course, this is coming from a person who's never been to New York, but I've just heard several horror stories of people who visited New York, and they're just like, it is so bad over there. I would love to go to New York just to go visit and go try it out, of course, but at the same time, I just want to tip my hat into the ring there. Come visit Chicago. There's a lot to do. It's a lot nicer, especially in the summertime, and there's always something to do.
Yeah, I have had the misfortune of only visiting Chicago when it is freezing cold. It's always been the November, December, January's. I think I went there in February once for a LAN 2 years ago. Right before COVID. But wow, it is My how time flies here. My how time flies, Whoops you. Yeah, 2023 now, right?
Yeah.
Not friend from his opponent on the backside over there. I think if Jewel actually had been, yeah, if they'd been unhit right there, I think they would have had a better angle.
Yeah, I mean, I think so as well. That was just a really, really good disruptive bump there, keeping the defender, in their sights basically, and that's what we need in Rocket League. You need some more bumps, some demolitions. A lot of people frown upon that. Good bump right there from Patrick. At least an equalizer here, almost on cue, like it's right to the script. But this is exactly what the new meta is. It's bumping, it's demolitions, and this is why.
Wow, yeah. The Denzel Washington, the equalizer, right?
Yeah. I love Denzel.
That's
yeah,
the movie, right?
Great movie, yeah. 100%.
There you go. Okay. We're having fun here, folks. We're having fun here. 60 seconds left in this one. Not a Jewel. Off the left side. Solid hit. Bought his team a little bit of time. Get this one back down. Jewel back on out. Attempts the pass to Jace. That's going to be a deep, not necessarily open net, but solid hit. Get the reverb right there. Yuki's opponent does. Patrick, left side, right side, excuse me. This one's a really big hit, and that's going to be even traveled a little bit more right here. We are 30 seconds away from an overtime situation. Whoops you.
Yeah, another close game, another close series as well. Only 20 seconds left. Mavericks need to get this ball off of their end of the field if they want to have any chance of trying to get this one done in regulation. Argonaut has other plans, though, for Barton. Nice advancement upfield. Good defense off the back wall was Jewel. There was Yuki as well, trying to bring this one back towards the blue side of the field. This is a breakaway now for the Mavericks. Met, though, towards the midfield line. Last defender back right there for Barton. A huge, huge opportunity. All zeros on the clock, though. This one's still not down, and there it goes finally. We are indeed heading to overtime here in Game 2.
There you go. So Mavericks up 3-0 in the first game when we tuned out. That was a game win there. Another overtime we go. Barton has gone forth. Figured this one out, whatever it is, between games 1 and 2. Got 2 overtime games of the 3 in the first broadcast. Now we get 1 here of the 2 on the second. I'm with it.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the best Rocket League we could kind of ask for. Of course, if this one goes to game number 5, it would be ultimately solidifying our points here that there's as even as they possibly can get, but still the better team is indeed going to win regardless of what the box score is going to be at the end of it. Still, though, in overtime, 40 seconds up, neither team really have any threatening shots. As I say that, though, one comes through for the Mavericks. Counterattack now for Yuki. This was popped towards the mid-line. Jewel does have that one. He does pop it over into the corner, playing some solid defense. Barton, though, knocking on the door. They have some pressure. The demolition coming through as well. Yuki, wow, couldn't get there. Patrick does save that one away.
Shot over to the inside. Oh, what? Okay, the Mavericks kind of getting gifted this one a little bit. It seems like it kind of might have been similar sort of situation earlier that the mistakes are going to be punished right there, and that's Yuki that hops up to it but can't quite get it done. Mavericks go up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. A huge advantage right there for the Mavericks. They win that 50-50 challenge to bring that one through, and yeah, there was just a ton of offense being generated right there for the Mavericks as well. As you've seen, close to 15, 16 shots right there for the Mavericks. So a ton of offense being generated. The defense needs to step up for Barton if they have any chance of coming back in this one. Now, Mavericks are on match point. They need the reverse sweep to pull this one out.
Yes, they do. It's going to be either this next game, either beginnings of a reverse sweep or keep the broom out. That'll be the 3-0 sweep here for the Mavericks. Now, after this goes, again, not 100% sure what the final score was in game number 1, but after this goes from the first half of game 1 being really one-sided, now a little bit more of a contentions game here, a little bit more back and forth, whoops you.
Yeah.
I really hope that we'll see at least a 3-1 right here, and neither team getting shut. Well, not neither team, and not Barton Esports getting shut out here in game number 3.
I mean, hopefully we don't see that. Hopefully have a little bit more of a contention like you talked about. We always like it when it happens that way, but sometimes it's not what we want, it's what happens on the pitch, like we said before.
You can't always get what you want.
Basically, yes, you can't. I would love that.
You try sometimes.
Always going to keep trying as well. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Barton at least take one game away from the Mavericks, put them in a little bit of a better situation, but it is what it is. The better team, like we said, is going to win.
Yes, they will. There's a beautiful thing about Rocket League. There's certainly some randomosity in this game, but these higher levels, again, the Emergence Division, Great Plains right here. There's Maverick Esports Black. Excuse me. Got it.
I'm sorry. You got what?
45 seconds left on this one. Schlacken. I've been calling them the Mavericks. They are the Maverick Esports Black Squad. Excuse me. There is multiple teams that can be confusing. That is my fault.
Oh, I mean,
that is Jalen. The side Jewel with a pretty good centering shot right there. Now it's Jace popped up. Patrick had 7 shots attempted earlier. There's another one. Jewel a little bit too high on this one, and Jace a really wonky position on the backside. Kind of surprising. This was decently forecasted. This is not the first time this Maverick Esports Black Squad has gone forth and set up a play just like that. Just ends out in a different way.
once again, Barton close to scoring that one. That shot does bring off the backboard, not quite go through though. Argonaut! What a pre-jump read, a pass to himself to put Barton up by 1.
Up in the air, Argonaut, more like Astronaut. Fantastic shot right here. Jewel gets nothing more than a front row seat to the first score in this game. Number 3, Barton gonna be going up early. I like it. This is how you begin a reverse sweep, my friends.
Indeed it is. We have to see. Maverick Esports Black has something to say about that, though, where they do have the offensive possession. Jules up in the air. That's Yuki who takes that one away. First initial offense in favor of Barton. Maverick Esports Black trying everything they possibly can to keep this one over on the orange side of the field. It's a great clear right here by Patrick. That one's floating over towards the midfield line. Oh! And a huge mistake coming out right now for Barton Community College.
This really just seems like a Maverick Esports Black Squad kind of playing their game, occasionally losing, not even necessarily mistakes, but like something they're trying to do just doesn't go right? Not like they try to do something and they fail, but like it's just not even like started. Like all of these and all of Barton goals are really earned, whereas Barton's like going forth, playing their game, trying and succeeding sometimes, but just consistently, unfortunately, getting these defensive clears and whiffs consistently. And every single time, it seems like the Maverick Black Squad is able to take advantage of and put points on the board.
Past the halfway point in this matchup. Both teams playing that ping pong Rocket League style right now. I do like the aggression, though, from Maverick Esports Black. They are going on the goal line, trying to hunt out that keeper, trying to get the demolition onto the goal line as well. But it is high risk, high reward. See if it pays off for them in the long run. Barton trying to get the offense going here. Yuki, nice demolition. Not going to be enough, though. Argonaut going to have to keep this one towards the corner. And there goes Patrick. Pass over to the left side from Jewel. Going to be shot too far to the left side. The follow-up touch going to be missed as well.
Oh, man.
A close opportunity. Maverick Esports Black can't capitalize.
There's the collapse in. Nice hit right there from Argonaut. This is the beginning of something beautiful as Barton starts painting the picture. Nope, he's a little torn up, tossed out. Argonaut tries something, but that's an easy takeaway right here from Patrick. Patrick to Jace. Jace with an honest attempt. That's last player back. Patrick! Oh my goodness, read this perfectly. I thought that was going in. Excuse me.
I thought so as well. That was so close. It was just... I can't believe he kept that one out. That's how close that one was. And little to no boost to work with as well on the goal line. And 9 times out of 10, that one's finding its way through. But ultimately, just playing some phenomenal defense right there is Maverick Esports Black.
Jace forced to rotate right here. It actually goes for a boost. He needs to be very glad that Patrick came across with a solid hit. Good redirect on this one. Run down, left side, nose up. Should be decently centered. Trying for the tippy tap inside. This is right decently centered. Argonaut just tees off on it. Once again, Patrick in the back. Nope, that's Jace, excuse me. Running this one down left side. Yuki meets it at the ground. And we're 30 seconds away from another overtime situation.
There it is at midfield. The shot being taken away by Shalakin. Shalakin now trying to be a disruptor on the offensive end right here for Barton. Can't quite get the contact that he needs to, though. Yuki, Argonaut going to work. Nice wraparound pass. Nobody going to be there for the follow-up touch, though, for Barton. Another missed opportunity right there. That just came down to rotation, I feel like. Final 5 seconds, though. Argonauts, good shot right there from Jay. Not going to find its way through. Another attempt, though. Jewel, this is dangerous. Floating right towards the middle of the field. The follow-up touch is going to be too far to the left-hand side. Unfortunate. But Jay LaBee not going to be able to find the mark.
Well, we had a 3-score total game. Again, when we left, that's if nobody else scored. We have a 7 total score game. Now we are going to have a 3 total score game. Up and down we go. Where we stop, I don't freaking know. I got to say, that's a solid shot. No, just a little bit too high. The fourth man popping up yet again. That top bar, once again, giveth and taketh away.
So close. You could go either way in this overtime game, but oh my goodness, dangerous always when you bring that one back towards the middle of the field, especially in front of the net. That's so dangerous. Oh my, the pre-jump read.
Like touches the same exact spot on that bar, right? Like literally hits it twice, like bounces right back to it. Man, oh man.
You see Jewel right here too, going on the goal line, trying to, bump somebody around for Barton. They definitely have that bump strategy implemented into their offense. It's just been so wild so far. Both teams just really playing this one close to heart. The wraparound pass now going to be too far. The follow-up touch going to be denied by Argonaut. But that was an opportunity right there for Maverick Esports Black.
Yeah, so Maverick Esports Black been on the offense for like 60 seconds or so. Jewel says they want to stay in that stance. Back to the left side. Now, it'll be Jace running it down mid. There's decently centered. Back on over to it. Jace would have loved to have been on the ground for that one. Oh my god, walking the dog right here. Nice hit. Last second, Jewel saves it for Barton, or saves it for the Maverick Black squad. Actually, Esports Black squad, excuse me. Barton still fighting for a lease on life right here.
Almost 2 minutes now in this overtime matchup. Want to remind everybody that Maverick Esports Black is definitely on match point. Barton needs to score this to stay alive in the series.
Another series of offenses right here. Double commit. That's going to yield a really true hit, though. Nice angle, nice positioning. Back on over to this right side against the Maverick Esports Black squad. Centered shot. Now sent left side. Jewel, weak hit. Jace with a much better one. Jewel back on over to it. Double commit on the defensive side. Mavericks doing everything to try and get this one back into the offensive third. That's just a little bit inside, and the Mavericks do it in 3.
Wow.
The Maverick Esports Black squad, excuse me. Sorry.
That is just, wow, all I can really say. That came down to just the wire, and that came down to Jewel missing contact off the back wall, and then it just was just drilled home. That's all I can really say. That was absolutely insane. Solid performance right there from Patrick, picking up 2 goals and a hat trick in game number 1. I mean, maybe even more goals than that. We kind of lost communication there, Tugboat, but at the same time, Maverick Esports Black get this one done. They bust out the brooms. They win 3-0.
Yeah, the sweep comes in. I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but here's a little stat for you folks. The past 6 games we hear it on broadcast between the Redbird Black Squad, University of Arkansas, and now Uno Black and Barton. There were 6 games. There were 4 overtimes, okay? And we're not even sure if the game 1 and this one went to overtime. It could have been 3 overtimes back-to-back. You know, who knows here? Who knows? This is about as close as it gets Once again, the Russell Crowe impression, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? NECC continuing to yield some really high quality, high flying, high octane Rocket League here, Whoops.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's my first time here in the NECC, but at the same time, it's been ridiculous. It's some high level competition, and you know the stats that we get just don't show the overtime matchups between some of these teams. They do show the series scores and stuff like that, but at the same time, I mean, if you look back to both of these series, one goal, one mistake goes in favor of the other team. We're looking at more of a 3-2 series. We're looking at maybe even just the whole entire thing being flip flopped on its head, and the other team winning the whole entire thing in a sweep fashion too. That's how close it's been, and that's the competition here in the NECC.
Yeah, like a single flips distance. Maybe the difference like 10 boosts, something like that, and we could still literally be watching these two games, especially the 4-3 in the second game, the 2-1 in the third game. With that, though, I do believe, Whoops, we have reached my least favorite part of any broadcast, and that, of course, is the end. Big shout out to our production staff. That was Grisham, that was Gio, and everybody over there on ECC behind the scenes and whatnot. Basically, guys, if your name isn't FBI Tugboat or Whoops and you help put on this competition, then we appreciate you, because we were just two casters screaming about esports in our rooms without you. For now, though, FBI Tugboat, Whoops, do you have anything else for the good people before you bid them adieu?
No, I mean, thank you guys very, very much for being here. I appreciate you guys bringing me on as well. If you guys want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Whoopshoe Gaming. We appreciate you guys so very much. Tugboat, anything else?
There you go. Same spot at FBI_Tugboat, people. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the NECC website and Twitter for what more competitive esports matches are coming up. But until next time, we'll see you later.